Hi Robin.
Hello.
I'm here from Change the World Productions. I wanted to have a quick chat with you about a number of subjects that you picked on our list. The first one of those subjects is tax havens.
Okay.
And I wanted to know what you had to tell the world about what's wrong with tax havens at the moment.
Yes.
And what you think we should do about it.
Yes. Okay, well the first thing I'd say is I think we're ignoring the biggest tax haven of all for some strange reason. It's all very well talking about the small tax havens, the tiny ones in remote islands somewhere, you know, that Lord Ashcroft owned or whatever. But the biggest tax haven of all, I think, is the one that's right here, right now, under our very feet. And we're protesting about it indeed, and that is the land. Okay. And if you look at the agenda is to tax the wealthy, isn't it? Here, in general. And I'm saying, well, how come it is that the more we tax the wealthy, the less they seem to pay? The biggest assets the wealthy own are not taxed. And this is why they never pay tax. So it's very simple.
Sorry, which assets are not taxed?
Well, it's it's the location values, the biggest one. Land values are the biggest one by a long, long way. Then you have a distant second, resource rents. Okay, and then you have beyond that you have monopoly profits of the large corporations.
Can you just clarify for us what you mean by resource rents?
Well, it's the return over and above the cost of production and a fair profit and the license fees for extracting minerals, fossil fuels, that sort of thing. You know, just think carefully about this and stop making it a political agenda, you know, or a jealousy agenda about taxing wealth. You know. The only people that are taxed today, 95% of tax is paid by workers and producers. That is the earnings of labour and capital. We tax them like they're doing an injury to society. Yeah, in fact, they're producing wealth. They're doing a good thing to society. Yeah.
So the people who are actually working and producing are getting taxed heavily, whereas the people who actually own the land
doing
and
nothing,
the resources,
not producing anything.
Are not producing anything, and they're not getting taxed.
And they're getting huge incomes.
That is quite shocking.
Capital is wealth. It's wealth devoted to the production of more wealth, okay, and it has to have work in it. Someone has to have done work to produce it. Land has no work in it. It's always been there. They're not making any more of it, you see. Right. It goes up in value because of the nature of the community. More people want to be there because of what we create in the community. Not what the owner creates, though. They might well do other work when they are producing stuff, but that part of their earnings, which comes from rent from the land, the rents, the economic rent, unearned income. Well, I would say, look, if we did say, okay, let's tax the assets, the unearned incomes, the land values, which is what we would propose, instead of people's work and production, what would happen to the tax havens, do you think?
I don't know. What do you think that would happen?
They would disappear.
Tax havens? Why would the tax havens disappear?
Because you can't move land into a different country.
True. But would the people move?
Well, that'd be fine. If they're not doing any work, I'd be happy to drive them to the airport.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Scroungers, benefit scroungers. Yeah. I mean, I would say that big corporations, you can sort of point a stick at them and hit the right people. We're right to say that they're doing wrong. But we haven't identified why they're doing it. And I would say that we call this monopoly profit, so when the organisation becomes so big that it corners the market so easily, and no real entrepreneurs and new innovative developers can get in anymore. Well, I mean, they can hold out. If a big organisation can hold out a long time, even if it is hurting them, and the small guy will get swept away very quickly, and so they just clean up everything that's left over there. You look at food industry, the technology industry, once it's monopolised, the price goes up, the quality goes down. That is the effect of monopoly power. It harms everybody, every trader. I believe in free markets, but we haven't got one because of the monopoly power. They lock out the market. See what I mean? So we shouldn't, why shouldn't we have cheaper prices through competition? I think that's fantastic. Do we want to pay higher prices for things? That's insane, isn't it? Okay, we shouldn't allow wages to be competed down to a minimum to live on, but there's a reason for that. very good reason for that, and we've just been talking about it. They can't get in. So they're all competing for lower wages because they can't get in anymore. Yeah. Then they fall into welfare, so we develop a welfare state. We have to pay them benefits when they want to work. They want to work, but we have to pay them benefits. It's insanity. He wrote a book called The Corruption of Economics. It's free on, well, you can get a free free on the web. It's good enough. All very well historically researched, all referenced, all sourced. It's not speculation, it's not conspiracy theory.